Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. To all students of grade 9 at the Innovators International Academy, this video is for you and it is part of Unit 1. In this video, we are doing some of the activity book exercises, so let's start with them. Now, we are going to start with activity book page 4. But before starting, let's revise the modal verbs. Now, we said that we have four modal verbs in our book, and we started with has to and have to. We said that both mean must, so you are obliged to do something ملزم أو مجبر بالقيام بفعل معين, and it is necessary to do something أو من الضرورة فعل أو القيام بشيء معين. Then we move to don't have to or doesn't have to, and we said that they mean you don't need to do something or it is not necessary to do something. يعني من غير الضروري أو من غير الاضطرار فعل شيء معين أو القيام بشيء معين. Then we move to can, and we said can means to give advice or it is a good idea to do something. You have the choice to do something. So can is used to give advice لإعطاء نصيحة أو تقديم اقتراح بدون أي إجبار أو اضطرار لفعل القيام بالفعل. And then we move to can't, and we said can't means that it is wrong or you are not allowed to do something, بمعنى اللي هي عدم جواز فعل شيء معين أو من الخاطئ فعل شيء معين. So let's start with the activities. Now we have activity 3 from page 4. Rewrite the sentences using these modal verbs. One of them is used more than once. And we have the modal verbs that we are familiar with. Let's start with number 1. You have the choice to do some exercises in the morning. Now here we know that we know the modal verb that we are going to use by the keywords you have the choice. Since I have the choice to do the exercises, then we will use the modal verb you can. You can, and then we have the add the verb do some exercises in the morning. So the sentence will be you can do some exercises in the morning. Number 2, it is not necessary to to write in pen. Now again, the keyword here is necessary. It means that من غير الضروري فعل هذا الشيء. يعني you're not obliged to write in pen. You have the choice to write or not. So the answer will be you don't have to write in pen. Number 3, it is necessary for you to have a breakfast every day. Now it is necessary, so I have to do it or I must do that. So the answer will be you have to have a breakfast every day. Number 4, you are not allowed to come to school without your books. And here we have because I am not allowed to do that, it means that it is wrong to come to school without my books. So the sentence will be you can't come to school without your books. And the last sentence, it is important to get to school on time. Again, we have the word important, which means that I must do something. So it will be you have to come to school on time. Let's move to activity book page 8. Now we have an exercise and it is also about the modal verbs have to, don't have to, can and can't. We have a table and the table has 4 columns. Each column has a meaning. So let's start with number 1. We have the column that has the tick sign, and here it means that we must do that thing. So we must be on time and we must be friendly. We have the X sign, which means that it is wrong to do that thing. And we have the not essential or it is your choice, and it means that it is not necessary to do that thing. And finally, it is a good idea, which means that we are giving advice. So let's start with doing the paragraph. And just to know, the paragraph is about the job interviews. So look at the job interview advice and complete the summary using the modal verbs. Let's start with number 1. First of all, you be on time for your interview. Now we must be on time for the interview, and the other word that gives us the meaning of must is have to. You have to be on time for your interview. You try to arrive at least 10 minutes early if possible. Again, arriving 10 minutes early is part of the advice, part of being a good idea. So we will use you can. You can try to arrive at least 10 minutes early if possible. You wear a suit, though it depends on the job. And here we want to say that it is not necessary to wear a suit, it depends on the job. So we are going to use don't have بمعنى انه انت غير مضطر للبس البدلة او اللباس الرسمي. When you meet the interviewer, you be friendly. Now we must be friendly when we meet the interviewer. So the modal verb we are going to use is you have to. You have to be friendly. You give false information about yourself and you make negative comments about your previous employer. Again, here are some of the things that are wrong to be done because it is wrong. So we are going to use you can't. You can't give false information about yourself and you can't make negative comments about your previous employer. Number seven, remember you say yes immediately if they offer you the job. And here again, it is something that is not necessary to do, so we will use don't have. You don't have to say yes immediately. If they offer you the job, go home and think about everything very carefully. You, number eight, also write a thank you letter to the interviewer after the interview. And this is part of the advice or part of things that are considered to be a good idea. So here we will use can. You can also write a thank you letter to the interviewer after the interview. Let's move to the next exercise. We have activity book, page 9, exercise 8. Now, exercise 8 is about the linking words. So, in the exercise, you will answer depending on the tenses you have learned and depending on the linking words. So, here we have but in A, when in B, and but in C, then in D, and when in E. So let's start with A. I have to study for my English test, but now here using but gives us the meaning of the unexpected result. So when I have to study for my English test, the expected result is that I start studying for the test. Because we use but we have to put something that is unexpected. So the answer will be I have to study for my English test, but my friends are coming for a visit. Now, here you can put any other sentence as long as it is meaningful and logical. Let's go to B. Sarah was watching a film when. Again, we have here a keyword or a linking word, which is when. And as you know, when has two verbs, long action and short action that happened in the past. We use the long action, which is was watching. So after when, we will use a past simple sentence. So Sarah was watching a film when her friend arrived. Okay, let's move to C. Ahmed and Rames were very tired, but again, we used but, so we have to put something that is unexpected. So the expected thing, الشيء المتوقع when Rames and Ahmed were tired, is that they went to sleep, for example. Because we used but, we have to put something that is unexpected. For example, we can say Ahmed and Rames were very tired, but they stayed awake till late at night. Let's go to the she usually reads before she sleeps, then, and here when we have then, it means that we have two actions that happened one after another. So she usually reads before she sleeps, then. Again, we use the present simple tense in the first sentence, so we will use the same tense in the second sentence because we have then. So we can say she usually reads before she sleeps, then She writes her diaries. And the last sentence, we were in the house when, we can answer by saying when it started snowing. Let's move to the next exercise, and it is in activity book page 9, and it is part or exercise 10. Now, exercise 10 says, look at the table below, then write the sentences using the present perfect simple. So we have to answer the questions using the present perfect. Now, as you know, the present perfect is made by putting the subject a plus has or have a plus verb 3 or the past participle tense. So let's answer the questions about what has and has not happened. Now we have two columns. The first one has the tick sign, which means that these things has happened, and the other columns have the things that has not happened or the things that have not happened. Let's start with the question number one. Which sport has Talal practiced this year? Now we have to go to Talal and to see. Now, Talal has practiced football and he hasn't practiced tennis. So the answer will be, which sport has Talal practiced this year? Talal has practiced football this year. And don't forget to use the present perfect tense. Number two, which place has Mazen never been to? Now, when we go to Mazen, we see that he has been to England, he hasn't been to France, so the answer will be Mazen has never been to France. And again, don't forget that when we use never with the present perfect, we put it between the helping verb has and between verb 3 or the main verb. Number three, has Noor written a letter to her best friend before? Again, we go to Noor. We can see that she has written a letter for her brother or to her brother. She hasn't written a letter to her best friend. So the answer will be no, Noor has never written a letter for her friends before. So that was our lesson for today. I hope everything is clear. If you have any questions, Tasa, I'm always here for you. Thank you for watching.